Alright. Alrighty.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. This is episode 26 of Shoot the Breeze, a chill time and a chill time all around, and a chill interview for you and me. I'm your host, Heavy Divider. Alongside me right now is, well, a very nice individual. As a matter of fact, he pretty much has an aura around him where you can always feel like you want to hang out with him. By wherever it may be on hand, be it here, Chillout VR, wherever it may be on hand. But my guest for tonight is Northern Monkey, and I just call him Northern for short. Welcome, buddy.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing just fine.
Indeed.
Doing just fine on hand. So, the first question I have on hand, and this is the most hilarious one to me after I realized it right now, is how the hell did we meet?
Oh, I think it was around about 8 to 9 months ago. I knew Rosie for around about 12 months, and I think we were just in the world hanging, and then you just jumped on Rosie. Basically, it was late. I think it was probably about 2 in the morning for me.
Yep.
So obviously quite late. I was ahead of bed, and then you just popped on in. And I was like, Heavy, I know you. I've recognised you. That's how we met.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a random meeting, and obviously with obviously time zones and stuff, we don't get to meet as much as we could. But obviously, me being in the UK, you being in the US, time zones don't really sort of match up a lot.
And prior to that on hand, is the funny thing is the fact that we never got a chance to meet in VR for the longest time. We've only known each other on Twitter for one entire year.
On Twitter, yeah.
Never. It took that long on hand to actually meet in VR just because of time zones and all that, but still it was nice to get a chance to finally meet you after that long on hand. So
definitely. I mean, that's all about what this game is about, just meeting new people and seeing where they come from and just chatting to them. That's the whole idea of it.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of it on hand. So my next question on hand I was going to ask you is your VRChat origins. Like, what got you started in this game entirely at the very beginning of it?
Oh, I think it was probably mid-2018. I saw, obviously, a lot of the YouTube stuff come on, the likes of Nags, Oatmeal, all that sort of stuff. So, it looks interesting. Let's give it a go. So I think in September 2018, I jumped on for the first time in desktop. I got into a murder game, and I met the friends I'm still with to this point today, Ken, Alphony, and Napa. And it was just an amazing group that I met. They were still friends to this very day. We don't get on as VR as much as we used to. And then roughly around about November, start November, I got the Oculus, and that's when I dived into the VR side of things. And that's really when the game sort of opened up. In terms of what you're able to do and sort of just chat to people and just interact with people a lot more. And that's really where it came from. The model, really, the Northern model, the turkey design, as I keep getting called a turkey all the time, came from, I think it was a Kimono Friends World. I originally found the original avatar, and then from there I just sort of changed it about a bit, started getting into Blender, Unity, and then basically loads of different Northern models came about. So that was where the Northern came from. And then really over time it was just meeting a load of people, the likes of Ping, you've got the likes of Peter, you've got the likes of so many different people, Famriel, different people, Mad Vicious. Me and Mad now have become very, very close friends. I went and saw him last year in France, and it was really interesting meeting up with a guy. Really, really chilled and just a really cool guy.
No, I was going to say, it's also not only that, it's just kind of like a different platform on hand where basically, like, I think it's one of its kind where basically you could finally get a chance, like, in a way, to meet somebody across the globe, in a way. In comparison, in comparison, like, you know, say, like, when you originally at that time was, like, Skype, where basically you could just talk to somebody across the globe, or basically with Discord, same thing, talk to somebody across the globe. Just to be able to meet somebody, even if it's not their real face on hand, just like personality, and just be able to see them person to person. Like it's a very clear, like open eyes on hand for that kind of change for the most part. And also too.
I mean, it's coming.
No, go ahead.
It's sort of coming to its own this year because of COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, with the world being locked down, it's sort of giving people the option to, even if they can't go and visit them, they can still see people online, and it's sort of opened that up. A lot of these social platforms now, not just like the VRChat, have just opened up so many opportunities, even in business sectors as well, and even schools that have started using the likes of VRChat for teaching and stuff. So it's a game and a platform that's definitely grown over the last year, I would say, and especially in 2020 because of what's been going on in the real world.
Oh yeah, and not only that or so too. It's like it's not. It could just be like the way of the future too, or sooner or later, like in time or so, certain stuff on hand will end up going into VR entirely. Like I can't imagine like on hand, say like colleges or so, where you could just easily just put like, or just kind of like ends up becoming like .hack where basically anything interactable or anything on hand you would ever want to experience, all you gotta do is just put a headset on and bam, you're already there to see it.
Yeah. I think the technology is definitely going that way. It's still in its early stages, but most definitely the more that VR gets immersive, the more that you can interact with objects around you, the more the way you can teach and stuff. It's just going to get better and better. But again, I think it's going to take probably another 2 or 3 years before the actual technology is there to be able to do sort of the more serious stuff in life that you want to do, but it will eventually come most likely, and that's what the future's holding. I mean, you got the likes of the new tack suits, which basically allow you to obviously feel everything in VR. So I mean, the likes of the police are using that for tactical training and stuff. So the VR technology for me it's growing, and it's getting better and better, and that's what I love about the technology and how much it's changed over the last, I would say, 2 or 3 years.
And oh yeah. And just for that entirely, so it'll be more accessible for everybody else to have it on hand. So, like I said, in due time, we're basically going to have a lot of stuff here and there. So my next question on hand is basically hobbies on hand besides this game entirely. Now, I have at certain points caught you streaming some different stuff on hand, but I feel like besides games in general, you probably have some like different other hobbies besides that or so. And I'm just kind of curious on that, because I have like Sea of Thieves, Phasmophobia on it, but those are just small games. But any other hobbies?
Yeah, I mean, overall, the VR games, other games are definitely some of my hobbies. Like Phasmophobia, obviously, ever since it came out, it's a fantastic game in VR, even in desktop as well. But in terms of outside of sort of streaming and stuff, I play football, soccer, obviously in the US, every Monday end goal, and it's just a way to keep myself fit, way to keep obviously interacting with my friends during this obviously COVID thing, because you are still allowed to play outside. But other than that, really, I have hobbies of like I watch Formula One all the time, which for me, I know a lot of people don't like the racing side of things, but for me this year has definitely been a really interesting sort of sport and sort of the technology that's moving on in it. Obviously game-wise, Sea of Thieves, Phasmo, the likes of obviously other platforms like this coming out, the likes of Chillout VR, which I mean I can get that into more of that later on, but for me it's going to give this game maybe a kick in the ass a little bit, which would be kind of good for both games, a bit of competition. But the platform itself is just looking really, really good, and overall it's just looking like a really cool game. Other than that, I mean, I do try to play FPS games, but as most of my viewers know, I am pretty shit at them. I'm pretty bad at it. So yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, I mean, mostly hobbies, footy, Formula One, and then really mostly streaming and gaming, because the whole idea for me in streaming is that I just get to meet new people, very much like yourself. You meet new people in chat, and you get to play games with them, and overall that's why I prefer big multiplayer games, because it allows you to meet and interact with your chat more, especially likes of Among Us and stuff like that.
I got you. And not only that, or so to add something on hand for you, it's the fact that no matter what game you're playing on hand or so, as long as you're having fun, everybody else is going to have fun with you. Especially if it's like something you never tried out before and you're still learning it. Like, they understand you're learning it on hand, but they're willing to be with you just to be able to see you improve, like, over time as time goes by. So that's a key bond on hand with that one.
I mean, me improve on games, that usually doesn't happen.
Hey, you never know.
I usually either stay the same or get worse.
Hey, you never know. It can happen.
That's usually me in games.
You never know. But, let me talk about Timezones on hand, and I know for a fact that, Timezones has always been it's been pretty much a big obstacle for everybody on hand, like, be it on the US side or basically on the UK side or any other side in the world. And the thing on hand or so is with Timezones, you always get to see like some interesting things that normally normal people wouldn't be able to see in different parts of the world or so. But what I was going to ask you is, depending on what time you ever hop on like certain VRs or so, or basically at that certain time or so, has there been anything interesting you see in like, no matter what kind of time it is?
I mean, really, in terms of time zones and interesting stuff, the most I've really ventured out is mostly the New Year, especially on VRChat. Like last year's New Year, the year before, it's always been great to see the way different people celebrate VR. New Year. Sorry. I mean, last year I jumped on with friends from Australia, so the likes of Techies. I jumped on early on to catch up there with their New Year. I jumped on with friends in Japan, which was really interesting to see, because obviously different culture around the world celebrated differently. And then obviously you got the European, UK time zones, and then obviously the US after that. But it was just interesting to see how different countries, cultures celebrate the bringing in of a new year, and that's what I love about the fact that with VR, you don't have to be in that time zone. You can just jump on and just interact with people and catch up with people, which is great.
Oh yeah, it is. And the thing too about it is, like, even if you can't see anybody on the exact same time or so, there's always another way to be able to talk with them or so. Like, be it social media, Discord, just kind of like any smaller things on hand, just to be able to reach out is like the key thing too. Like, even if you can't see them in person or virtual person on hand, at least you'll be able to communicate with it on hand. Which, it's just kind of like...
Yeah, I mean...
Which, it's just kind of like, the most amazing thing on hand is, like, especially from when you used to grow up to where you are now, and now you're able to, like, interact with an entire world on hand. Still, it's, like, one of the most amazing feats to even reach out to.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong. I ain't a young one. I'm 30 next year. But for me, it was the obviously when I first started out with sort of the internet stuff, I was with dial-up, and all you really had was MSN Messenger or AOL Messenger or even MySpace, which probably most people don't really remember nowadays. But obviously now, as you say, you've got the likes of Discord, which is just a quick message to somebody, and you could start chatting them, or you got the likes, as I say, of VRChat, Chillout VR, which is a social platform. You just jump on and meet new people wherever they are in the world. But yeah, I mean, the technology's moved on massively, and that's it can only get better, I think.
Yeah, it could get better. As time goes by, it'll definitely get better. And for the record, just so you don't feel like you're old too, I'll be 30 next year as well. So.
No, big 3-0. I mean, what I would say to you is a lot of people have said to me this year, like, like a lot of people who don't play games is, you're getting 30, you can't play games anymore. No, I don't agree with that. I think gaming can be any age, and at the end of the day, it's like me saying to one of my friends, you can't watch movies anymore because you're 30. It's a form of entertainment. It allows you to enjoy something, and I think it's still that mindset that gaming, especially either on consoles or PC, has always had that thing, you're too old to play games. And I just say no to that. I just say I will consider 30 as the new 20s for me, the way I look at it.
No, understandable. And plus, it's also too, it's just another error on hand to be experienced on hand, because you wouldn't expect that, like, at the age of 18 you would automatically see all this coming towards you. Like, you didn't think it would basically be in your time or so, and then now that you're seeing all this, is like, what's going to happen in like 10 or 20 more years or so? What kind of advancement is going to be happening on hand, and what everybody else is going to experience when you see all this? So, let me ask you about like some different VRC groups on hand, or basically or Chillout VR groups on hand or so. Now, everybody's got a different kind of like feel to each group on hand, like a different atmosphere for the most part or so. And the one thing I want to ask on hand or so, in your time or so, be it like from the earliest days of VRC all the way up to basically be it here or a Chillout VR, is there ever been like a different kind of group that sticks out to you, or basically kind of gives you any sort of like, kind of like this feel on hand? Because I know everybody's got like a different atmosphere no matter what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the first people I met, the group I first met in VRChat, the likes of Kent, Alphony, and Napa, we all still stick together. We all still have a laugh whenever we're all on together. The groups definitely grow over the 2 years I've been on the game. The groups definitely grow, and as groups grow, groups split up into different parts, but you always try to keep in contact with all of them. And I think one of the things and it's one of the reasons why I actually stopped streaming VRChat. A lot of people ask me why I actually stopped, but I think for me, the game is, to me, it's not really a game anymore. It's more of it is technically a social platform where you interact with friends and chill with friends. And I don't get me wrong, I mean, I have nothing against people streaming, but I just found that over time, it was you found that the group was more natural with you if you weren't streaming or stuff like that. So that was one of the reasons I actually physically stopped. But in terms of groups, I mean, the likes from VRC and Chillout, there are groups that are just always there for you. The likes of Kent, Alphony have always been there for me, and Napa. So I don't think it's sort of grouping. I think it's more friends. You sort of grow apart, but you're always friends. You're going to always interact with them. So even if I jump online, I haven't seen them for say a couple of weeks, you can still just jump onto them and still have a chat, still have a laugh, and still feel like it's not been ages apart basically. So I think in group wise, I don't think there is really a group I have anymore. I just bounce around whoever's online, whoever's usually in Friends Plus world. I'll usually jump into their world and just start chatting to them, or even just open up a Friends Plus world and just see who wants to jump in and just chat. So I think over time, I just think the group has gotten bigger and bigger, but then it just the group's still there. It's just people go their separate ways over time and just do different things. I think that's the way I look at it.
No, that's understandable. Just because, like, when you're doing something that you enjoy or so, and somebody else wants to try to do the exact same thing or so, sometimes they want to be able to have, like, their own room or so, their own kind of placement to be able to grow and make something of their own or so, which is fine, because everybody wants to have something of their own, wants to be able to make something for themselves or so, because, and they just be able to, like, you know, as they grow, you grow with them, and then basically it's like, you know, be able to have, like, a giant, like, 2 different communities on hand to be able to hang out with here and there. And that's the key, that's the key thing on hand too, is just be able to at least let people spread their wings and fly wherever direction they want to go. You know?
So, definitely.
So let me check here really quickly. Oh yeah. So I think the last one on this question I have is basically old VRC memories. Any memories pop in your head when you think about it? Like any old memories come to your mind?
I mean, the main memories that come to mind with VRChat especially would be, again, the first time meeting the likes of Kent, Alphony, and Napa. We were I just jumped into a public world on a murder world, and I just basically had about 6 hours of absolute laugh with them. And they are still my friends to this day. Over time, it would have been mostly the likes of the memories of just having stupid stuff happen. I mean, New Year's Eve, the first New Year's Eve I had on VRChat was just immense. It was so much fun, so much laugh, and just people just chilling and laughing. I think that's what I take away from VRChat. It's a social platform. It allows me to create memories, allows me to create photos, allows me to just interact with people who I would never really get a chance to either meet in real life. And that's for me the reason I still love the game. Yes, the game has got its flaws with bugs and stuff, and from my point of view, it does need a little bit of a kick in the ass in terms of that side of things. And for me, again, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, why are you going on to Chillout? Why are you doing this?" I said, Chillout's just another platform for me to meet other new people. I'm not going to ever leave VRChat. It's still a fun part of my gaming life, or my last 2 or 3 years of streaming. But for me, it's another platform that allows me to jump on and meet other people who might not be on this game. And for me, it allows me to create new memories as well. So I think overall, it'll give VRChat hopefully a bit of a boost, a little bit of a competition. The more competition you have on the market, the more they're going to have to sort of step up and maybe make the game, maybe fix the bugs a little bit better. So I'm hoping for that. As again, a lot of people said, why you seem to be leaving VRChat. I'm not going to leave VRChat. I'm still going to be here, but I'm just going to be bouncing between 2 platforms. And I think for me, it's like having COD and Halo. I still like both games, but I can jump between the two systems and I can still play both games. So I think that's what people have to understand, that this is just more and more competition coming to the market, which gives VRChat a chance to improve, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Yeah,
just kind of like give that kick on hand to be able to do that all entirely. And plus, not only that, for your personal sake or so, you don't want to get burned out basically just coming over here and stuff and just basically coming back. It's kind of like with somebody who streams for the most part. Basically, they only stream VRChat. And basically, when you do nothing in stream but one game entirely, basically, you're going to burn yourself out because you either get really tired of it or basically you feel like you're kind of like cornered where you can't do anything else, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons I stopped. I started not enjoying the game because I was constantly streaming it, and I think for me, it was like, well, why don't you just start? There's obviously the likes of when Suva came out, obviously all these new avatar systems were allowed to put your virtual avatar on with the webcam, and just opened that up to allow me to bring the Northern avatar into other games, which is brilliant. But I think again for me, I just use VRChat now or Chillout VR, the likes of these social platforms. They just allow me to meet people and allow me just to chill and chat with friends. And I don't want to put that sort of. If I do ever stream the likes of VRChat Chillout, it's usually doing world exploration, because for me that's one of the things that doesn't really get shown enough on the streaming sides of VRChat. Mostly it is just people chatting sort of to the camera, not doing sort of this sort of stuff, because this is what I like. You're interviewing people, you're doing different stuff. A lot of the time it's just the camera just facing someone and they're just chatting to the chat, which is nothing wrong with it, but the amount of worlds that are in VRChat, the amount of worlds that are going to be in Chillout, there's so many cool worlds to explore that I think that the world creators and the avatar creators very rarely get a lot of recognition for what they've done for this game, because technically if it wasn't for them, this game really wouldn't be about, because they've created so many unique and amazing worlds. And that's what I love about the game. That's what I still love about it. I still love seeing, oh my god, what have they done with this world? This looks just amazing, and it's so cool seeing that. And I think as hopefully the community grows even bigger, because obviously with the likes of VRChat getting more and more sort of recognition within the streaming side of things, and obviously with the Quest coming out on Oculus, that's becoming more and more accessible to people to get into VR. I think more and more people are going to jump on, and I'm hoping for a bright future for VRChat as well as Chillout. I think the competition between the two of them will boost each other, and for me it's just going to be all about seeing the worlds, and that's what I love about the game, seeing all these different worlds, meeting new people, just hopefully being able to go back into publics without the risk of certain things happening, unfortunately, with the likes in this game, which is a shame, because that's how I met all my friends. That's how I met my original three main friends, which I just don't think... I mean, not a lot of people say... don't get me wrong, you can go to public worlds still, and I think you still can find decent public worlds, but you still have that little bit in the back of your mind going... What if somebody comes in and does this? What if somebody comes in and does that? It's sort of like you've still got that inkle in the back of your mind all the time, which is a shame for me personally. Yeah,
it's got that reputation of being the no man's land, where basically like the most notorious thing you can think of, like when I say no man's land in VRC, is basically like the pug, where basically you're worried that the moment you walk in there or so, you have no idea what it's going to be like or so, and the factor of that increases, especially if you're a streamer. Like, because you're worried that someone's going to recognize you and immediately be like, just like crash you immediately on hand. Even if you're just there to chill or so, you're basically going to automatically just go after you. So.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Now, that's a shame. I think it's a shame it's come to this on this game, and I think it's just... I still remember the original when I started. It was never like that. You could pop into public worlds, you could jump into them, meet new people, and it's one that, again, it is another reason I stopped streaming the game, not as much as I used to. Just the fact that I want to be able to go in publics. I don't want to be recognised. I just want to be able to just chill with meet new people. But you still have obviously that inkle in the back of your mind going, oh, what would happen if this happens? Or I mean, the other side to it is I have a friend who really does an amazing avatar. Like, they are very, very talented. They will never use their avatars in sort of Friends Plus worlds or public worlds, because they don't want the risk of it obviously being taken, which is a shame, because the avatar looks amazing. Yeah, the avatar looks amazing, and it's so well done that I really would love them to show it to more people, but they just don't want to for the risk of it, which is a shame, really, unfortunately.
Okay, and we're going to go into a little bit of different topics on hand that I was going to ask you, and the one thing I was going to ask you is, we already talked about the VR, in a way or so as we were talking, we already talked about the VRChat current present and how things are, that's pretty much explained, so let me ask about Chillout VR on hand. And basically, from your perspective on hand, what is that game like for the most part? Coming from somebody who has never been there.
From my perspective, it's got a heck of a lot of potential in terms of its development. It is still an alpha, so they are still going through obviously bugs and bug tests, but that's the whole idea of an alpha. And For me, it's just got a lot of potential. The main thing I see difference-wise is, especially with larger worlds, when you get into the likes of larger worlds in this game, because of the way Unity is designed, especially with this game and the LTS version, it struggles to utilize your true PC performance. So it will usually either use between 2 to 3 cores, depending on what's going on with Unity. Where with the likes of CVR, it utilizes more of your PC, it utilizes more of the system. So the best way to explain it, I'm trying to think of 2 worlds that are in the game, which basically, if you put them side by side in one world on this same, I'll get probably around about 30 to 40 frames. And don't get me wrong, I haven't got the best PC in the world. I've only got a 1060 and a 700K. But then when you go into the CVR, I'm getting like 90 frames solid in VR. And you can see the difference in terms of performance wise. The best way I usually say is in VRChat, I seem to still get that little bit sort of lag behind you when you move a little bit. In CVR, it is just, there's no lag, there's no sort of delay in the actual overall performance. And again, I'm not saying that VRC couldn't be this, but they just need to look at how they develop their game. Again, security wise, CVR is a lot better. Again, nothing's ever going to be foolproof. I know that nothing's ever going to. Some people might find it, but the devs have already found stuff. People have already found stuff within CVR that has been discovered. The devs have then gone, right, let's have a look how we can prevent it or how we can thing it. And the devs, to me, and then the community as well, has very much stayed listen to each other, which I don't think you get that. I mean, don't get me wrong, VRC is humongous. It's a huge game, and if the devs listened to everyone, it would be very hard. But just to listen to some of the community members, that when they say something is wrong, and you don't listen, and then you push a patch and it's still broken, it sort of affects the game. That's what I love about Chillout. And I know as Chillout grows, there'll be more stress tests on it, and more things may be found. But overall, for me, performance-wise, it's just a lot better. And then the other side of it is you can go into public worlds, but you actually have mods there. You physically have mods in most public worlds, which I don't think the last time I saw a mod in a public world in this game was probably 3 months after I started. And it gives that thing, if there is any issues, if anyone tries to break the TS, if anyone tries to do anything stupid, the mods react immediately. And again, as the game grows, they will need to add more mods, and you might not see a mod in every world, but their mod side of things are very reactive. I've seen it in front of me, they will react immediately if they think something's going on. So again, it's got a lot of potential, and I think when it comes into open beta next year on Steam, which I think they're aiming for the end of January, I think it's just going to give people options. So as I say, I'm not going to leave VRC. I am going to be on both games, but it gives people to go into another game, try it out, see what they think. If they don't like it, they can always hop back.
Okay.
And I think that's what people have got to get into their sort of. People have opinions on each game, and I can completely understand that. I guess I say I do have opinions on Chillout VR, but just don't sort of say to people that, oh, you can't like both games. You can. It's a matter of fact, you can like both games. It's just, if you don't like the game, that's fair enough, but you can discuss with people about it. And I just think people need to get the mentality that people aren't leaving VRChat. They're just trying out a new game. They want to see what it's like. They want to see the performance difference. They want to see how easy it is to upload avatars. And for me, I'm hoping, from my point of view, my personal view, I'm hoping that Chillout gives VRC the kick in the arse that it needs to fix things. Because that's the major thing I thought. Over the last 6 to 7 months with VRC, I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I love the aspect. I love the fact that I can meet some people from other parts of the world. I can explore worlds. It's just the way the game is built and the updates that have happened over time, which have caused the game to have problems, and it sort of destroys the immersion a little bit. And that's what I'm hoping CVR does. CVR can be competition, and it gives VRC like, oh crap, we need to do something now. Because they never have really had any sort of competition. I don't think there's been any platform that I know of that's rivaled the likes of VRC, and that's why I'm hoping Chillout does take off. And it does give people options, but it also makes VRC go, oh, shit, we may need to do something here. And hopefully it'll fix it, which would be great. And I think if it does do that, the game will get better. It'll get better on both sides.
No, I got you. And the thing I will say, I think the only dumb thing that will ever come out of this whole it's not a rivalry, but basically people, from coming and going from different places on here, it's basically you're gonna have like people who are gonna be like the whole territorial thing, where basically it'd be like the whole the veterans of VRC or something, and basically somebody go testing out a new platform on hand, basically it labels them as basically like a traitor, or basically it'd be like oh you something dumb out of the woodworks for that.
I've had that already. I've had somebody basically unfriend me because I was talking about the game and how much I liked it, and it's bonkers to me. It's like I'm just testing out a game. I want to try something different. I want to see VRC improve, and this game might give VRC the movement for improvement, the kick to get it improved, because it hasn't had any challenges. And if it has this challenge, well, bring it on, because I think it'll do it a world of good.
Yeah.
Massively the world of good, I think.
Yeah, and this is why I like listening to different opinions on hand, because I like to get an idea and knowing why somebody thinks this and this, just because there'd be a different perspective on hand. And not only that, or so it'd be like if I've never experienced something on hand, I would like to get like a personal perspective from somebody else who probably has been there that I have never been there before, just know what it's like or so here and there, which is nice. And this is pretty much nicest thing you can have on hand for stuff like this. And
I mean, it's all discussion, isn't it? You can discuss things. You can still have different opinions on things, but still be friends. I have a friend who I have completely different opinions on, but we're still friends, and we just have a normal discussion about it. So it kind of baffles me a little bit when people get that mentality to go, "Oh, you're leaving this game. You're a traitor. You shouldn't be trying anything new. This game has given you everything." Oh, don't get me wrong. This game has given me a lot, and I will always respect it for that. I just don't like the way it's developed. I just think the development just hasn't gone the way it should have.
Yeah.
And again, that's just my opinion. Some people might not agree, but that's completely fine.
That's completely fine.
I don't mind that. I love having a discussion.
Yeah, everybody can disagree or agree on anything in the world. And plus, not only that, or so, yes, this game has definitely gave everybody here, a lot of stuff on hand, from friends to, like, be able to build something here and there or so. It's just a matter of basically time itself can definitely reveal a lot of things we didn't think about on hand, or basically as we get a little bit more knowledgeable on hand, we begin to learn like certain problems that stick out here, and then basically begin to ask questions about it, and then we begin to wonder why these questions have never been answered for these. And even if we ask those questions to the right people, sometimes those questions immediately get thrown over their heads, or for some reason they straight up ignored. It can happen. I've seen that happen beforehand, and in 2018, I've seen it happen before last year. So, a lot of things like that can happen on hand. One question I was going to ask, well, we've already talked about it on hand for it fall in the category of anything you're looking forward towards or anything, especially from both games in general, but you've already answered that on hand. With that.
Yeah, I mean, overall, looking forward to hopefully VRC improving. I'm looking forward to sort of just the new memories I can create over the next couple of months. Like, as I say, I'll still be on VRChat. I'll still be creating new memories. I'll still be doing stuff. I might get back into streaming just world exploration streams maybe once a fortnight, just because that's what I used to love doing in that game. I'd open a Friends Plus world, I'd jump in, people could join us if they wanted to, and we would just explore some pretty amazing worlds, which this game has got. And I tell everyone, just you get the chance to, just do it, go for it, just have a look at the worlds. I think that's the one thing they need to sort of improve on the game, is just being able to search for a world. Like, if I've looked for worlds, I know what the name of them, but they haven't appeared up on the search system. It's so hard to sort of get through all the worlds that are on the game and try to find the one you're looking for. If the search system was a little bit better, it would be so much better. So much easier to try and find these worlds. No, I'm looking forward to hopefully 2021 being a lot better year, hopefully for everyone in the world and stuff. And as I say, hopefully things will start to get back to normal. That's what I'm hoping for a lot of people, and obviously for me, just to get back into work. That's the thing COVID did to me. But I think most people are having that issues nowadays anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely on hand. Definitely on hand. And the last question on this kind of like different topics thing I have is basically throwing you a curveball here. Let's talk about anime.
Anime, yeah. I mean, I used to. Most people. I don't think most people know, but I used to go. Well, I do go to Japan every year. I try to go to Japan every year. So I'm a huge anime nerd. I've been in anime for God knows how many years now. Probably 10 to 15 years. I've loved anime for, but Anime, I really haven't got into this year as much as I used to. Don't know why. I mean, the only real ones I've watched are Irregular Magic High School, the latest season of that. I've been really hyped for that. I'm really hyped for the new Evangelion movie. I've been waiting for that for so long, the fourth in the series. But I just love anime. I love the Japanese sort of stuff, and I am a mega nerd for it, and manga as well.
Yeah.
But I could go on for hours on that.
No, that's okay. That's why I kind of was going to ask you 3 questions about that. One being basically, when I say anime, what's the first series that pops in your mind?
Bleach.
Bleach?
Bleach was my first series, yeah, Bleach, and I can't wait for it to come back. I can't wait for it to come back this year.
Oh, that's
so
right,
looking forward to that.
I forgot it is coming back. I'm only on hand. But any favorite series? Okay, any more on the anime thing is basically any favorite series that popped in your mind too, like anything that sticks out for you personally.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah,
if anyone
classic.
has not seen a classic Cowboy Bebop, some of the early ones like Log Horizon, the likes of Irregular Magical High School, I love that series, and I'm trying to think the likes of I know not many people, but the Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, that was just one of the funniest series I've seen in so long. I'm kind of looking forward to when they do obviously eventually release a second series of that. But I mean, for me, that Bleach is still in my mind. I can't wait for them to sort of continue the manga and continue this part of the one that they sort of marginally skipped last time, which would be kind of cool to see how they do it with the new animation style. Because obviously Bleach was, I'm trying to think when Bleach finished now. It was a long time. So just to see Bleach in the new technology and the new sort of animation stuff, I think would be really really freaking cool.
I'm trying to remember
the fights. Just bring.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I'll ask.
I'm trying to remember. No, you go ahead as well. Cause I'm trying to remember the guy's name who I'd love to see have his Bankai come out eventually.
I think Bleach finished up in maybe 2017, 2016. I think, off the top of my head, I think, on that point.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, besides that, or so, if the guy comes back to you, or so, you could just basically stop me and just let me know. I was gonna say.
Yeah, there was.
So, last question on hand is basically, what is the anime that hits you close to home? Like, literally, you relate to it more than anything else.
Oh, if it's something that pulled the heartstrings, it would have to be Toadora. Toadora killed me, and probably Angel's Beat. Angel's Beat got me to the point where I probably was crying.
I remember Angel's Beat.
Of that anime.
I remember it. God.
Oh dear. And then also probably the likes of Full Metal Alchemist. There's been some things in that have just been pretty darn amazing. And again, what I would say is a lot of the older anime now is being brought into live action from Japan, which the likes of Bleach has, the likes of what else has been recently? Full Metal Alchemist, and because it's been made by Japan, it's actually sticking to the stories. And oh my god, some of the live actions have recently have just been pretty darn amazing. I'm kind of hyped to see a lot of anime adapted to live action and see how they develop it. Not the sort of Western style, because Westerns really haven't got the. I won't mention. Well, I will mention it. Death Note. I'm sorry, I couldn't watch.
Are you talking about the
killed me watching that live action.
Are you talking about the
live action one
the
from America?
Netflix one?
Yeah.
I know the feeling. Oh god, I know the feeling on hand. Trust me when I say this on hand. I haven't seen it, but I can assure you enough screenshots on hand was enough to convince me to be like, yeah, I'm not watching it.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's like, no, what have they done? But no, I would say if anyone's really into anime, then they want to see some live action stuff, have a look at some of the Japanese ones, because they look pretty. They are very, very well done. Like seriously well done.
Oh yeah. Yeah, trust me, they put a lot of time on hand, especially where it's like a Studio Ghibli on hand. Like they put a lot of time in, just basically create some of the most beautiful movies you can ever watch on hand. Like it's always the.
I've been to the Ghibli studio in Japan. It's pretty. If you ever get, I will also say this: if you ever get a chance to, do go traveling. That's one of my mentalities. Just to put a point is especially if you could get a chance to travel to Japan. A lot of people say it's expensive. It can be very, very cheap to travel in Japan, and yeah, just do travel, meet other people from other countries as well. Do go for it if you can afford it. Just do it because it's pretty darn amazing country to visit.
Oh yeah, one day I will. one day. Or as anybody else, one day they will too. So that leads me down to my last question on hand. And as you can see, I have this camera right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you have center stage on hand to be able to look at it. And the question I'm going to ask you on hand is this. What are your goals and dreams? And at best, what is the best advice you can ever give to anybody else? I'm going to back up. I'm going to let you have the center floor for this.
Yeah, I mean, goal-wise this year is just to continue growing on the likes of Twitch, meeting new people, having so much fun with Twitch and streaming. Best advice for me, just if you are wanting to stream, do it. And just be yourself. Don't sort of put on a facade or a face or anything like that. Just be yourself, and people will come to you. The main thing for me in streaming is to just have fun and chill with people, and that's the best advice I could give. Just be yourself, have fun, and even it may take time for you to grow, but just let it grow naturally. The more you grow naturally, I think you'll find the closer friends you'll make with your community. And I have met some very cool people through the likes of Twitch, and I would just say, just be yourself, be your normal self, and go with the flow. And again, with 2021, hopefully things will get better, and just again have a great year. That's the best way I can sort of say it. And just be yourself. Go for it. Go for it. If you want to stream, do it. Just power it up, go for it, and stream. That's what I will always say. The more, the merrier.
Alrighty. I got you on hand. Trust me when I say this, so it's like, everybody's going to have, like, a different platform. Well, kind of like a different, like, way of how they craft stuff here and there. It's just a matter of how you want to craft, and more than anybody else has to say on hand. Alrighty, guys. So, last but not least, does anybody have any questions for Northern Monkey here? If anybody has any questions on hand, so I can think of one on hand while everybody's typing that up. But basically, my question on hand is, whenever you do another collab or so, you feel like doing like Phasmophobia or something, or basically like whatever you do, Dead by Daylight or whatever there. So, I need to figure out if I can be able to try to get there when I get a chance, just to be able to play with you if I can. There's some stuff here.
Yeah, I mean that's by all means. I don't really look at them as collabs. I look at them just playing with friends. So you've got me on Steam heavy. You see me playing something, just hit us up. I don't really try to sort of organize anything anymore. I just sort of like, what do I fancy playing today? Okay, I fancy playing that, and I just boot up the stream. Right, who wants to join? Boom, and away I go. I don't think. I think me and collabs, I don't really like the word collab. For me, I just play games with friends, and that's the way I look at it. So if you ever want to play anything, again, obviously our time zones don't really match up at the moment, but usually weekends I'm usually on a lot later. Just hit us up on DMs, and I'll play. That's what I usually do.
No, I got you on hand. So I got two questions here for you. Basically from Darlin Rosie. What's Northern's motto in life?
Motto in life? Oh God. Just be yourself. Just be yourself and just go on with it. Just be yourself, and I think that's about it, really. Just chill and just be yourself, and that's the way I look at life nowadays.
And the other question I have is from Charion. Basically, when can we have the ultimate squish? Well,
I swear to God, Shy. I swear to God, Shy. I'm going to kill you for saying that. Stop squishing the turkey. The turkey doesn't need to be any smaller. God damn it, Shy.
Good God.
Why does my community want to squish me so much? I don't
know.
God damn, I swear to God.
I don't know either. There's a lot of things. Trust me when I say there's a lot of inside jokes with my own community, as much as there is for your own community. Like that's the greatest thing ever. Where you can just say something like this and nobody has an idea what you're talking about because they're not like part of that. It creates an interest. Alrighty. And if anybody's got any more questions on it, feel free. But if not or so, I believe with that in mind, with that in mind on hand, I was gonna say that will probably be, depending on, with that in mind, that will probably be episode 26 of Shoot the Breeze. So thank you guys very much.